Hello, I hope that you are doing well today, enjoying your favorite cup of coffee, your favorite cup of tea, or maybe you've already transitioned over to water. Let's get into today's Life at a Glance topic. Now, I'm going to be referencing my notes here because what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start sprinkling in episodes that specifically address friction points when someone comes into my community. I have been doing a lot of visual planning and a lot of visual work. I highly encourage you to do that if you feel like you have foggy brain and you're not quite sure how things align. Even putting them into ChatGPT and getting feedback that way, I still feel that is one part of visual planning, but I still feel like we need to create these visual maps so that we can see our customer journey. And so for today, the topic that we're going to be talking about is this whole idea of needing more hours in the day to scale, right? And so specifically, the member came in and she said that she wants to transition from one-on-one services to scalable offers, because we all know that one-on-one, yeah, we can increase our rate, but there's only so many hours in the day, right? So we're going to take a look at this really in a couple of different ways, and I'm going to match a couple of my products that specifically address these friction points and can help you find clarity around them. So the first thing is this whole myth around more hours. So it's not, and I've always said, it's not necessarily you've got to have 40 hours a week to work. You need to know where to focus. And adding more hours truly isn't the answer, because if you think about it, you're just going to continue to work more, which is going to lead towards burnout. The real bottleneck here in wanting to get out of the one-on-one and seeing that you want to scale that revenue and maybe that you don't increase your price is that the bottleneck is that one-on-one service. And it's specifically the delivery of the service. And so here is the first step. And we're going to kind of multitask without even feeling like we're multitasking. So whatever that one-on-one service is that you have, your expertise can literally live inside of a repeatable asset. And here's what I mean. Whether it's an SOP, it's a checklist, it's a PDF, it's how you solve the problem, it's how you deliver the one-on-one service that you're already providing. So we're doing that for the one-on-one service so that we can streamline and leverage the time. But now we can take that template, we can take the way that you solve that problem and put it into a template, put it into an SOP, a PDF, a Notion template, Trello, Asana. It does not matter. I don't care the vehicle that we actually deliver it in, but that is your first step into the one-to-many. So many times I see people talk about, oh, it's easy to do a digital product. It is not easy to do a digital product. If they are, you need to run fast the other way. It takes a lot of time to optimize that digital product, but more importantly, come up with a digital product. So here's the thing. If you're already solving the problem, you're using the template, you know that it works, you know it like the back of your hand. It's not scary about, I'm not going to know if, when they come in the inbox and they're asking me a question, or I'm not going to know how to answer it, or that's not going to work, or you use it all the time. And so it's helping you in your one-on-one service to streamline those business operations. But number two, it is also now becomes an asset. I did a whole workshop around this. Turn what you know into a template. It is a very specific, low ticket opportunity to have folks go that one-to-many that you're looking for. Always start at $27. We're not going to go into that whole thing right now, but always start with that $27. All right. So, and you can take that asset and now you can launch either into a membership, so monthly recurring. You can launch that into maybe a monthly coaching program, right? Something very specific along the same lines of what you're currently doing with your one-on-one, but we're starting small group. It's the power of like community learning, which I'm all for 100%. I think it's, yes, you are the expert, you are the leader of that community, but there's something about people that are going for their own individual goals, but it's that sense of community that you're building. I know inside of Help Me Rhonda Live, so it's small group, it's 10 people, right? And right now we've filled 5 slots. And it was interesting, even on our first call, Wendy said, I got clarity around things that I had not even asked about because I was addressing a question that Barb had, who is in a different part of the country and has a very different business from Wendy. But the thing that I love in community is that we are people, we are women, and we have a goal of growing and scaling our business. And we're getting really clear because we have a 90-day goal. We're breaking it down into 30-day sprints. And then we have weekly tasks, and those weekly tasks can be broken down into daily implementation, but there's going to be friction there. Yeah, you can ask GPT, which I highly recommend that you do. Inside of AI Command Center, I have an advisory board just for that. But it's also good to be in small community with the expert and or the coach, right? And the community, because they're also going to give you feedback. It's amazing the way all of that works. All right. Okay. So first things first, it's not about more time, because if I gave you more time, you would work it in, drown yourself into burnout. You'd just run yourself into the ground, right? So the bottleneck is the one-on-one service delivery. How do we overcome that? Those repeatable tasks, you got to dial them in. You got to dial them in and delegate them, right? And so those are think about the one-on-one service: onboarding, fulfillment, offboarding. Those are your three big SOPs. There are more, but those are your three biggies. And when you do that, if it's onboarding and you do something in a special way, more likely with fulfillment, you do something in a special way, that template, solve it in 10 minutes or less, that template now helps you with your one-on-one service, but it also now launches the one-to-many, which is where you want to go to grow and scale your revenue, right? I'm not a fan of free. I don't understand free. I left free 6 years ago, and here's why. There is so much vying for people's attention inside of your inbox. And there are very few people that I actually, from a week to week, open those emails. And if you've caught my eye and I put my email in, the likelihood of it being an email just for freebies, I don't know, just like how much are they going to take action on that thing? I see people in groups just belaboring, oh my gosh, they're just like, how do I do this mini course, this free nobody wants a free mini course. Somebody wants a transformation. I'm in this pain and I want to get out of it. And if I put money behind it, that is hopefully the next step in them taking the next step with you, right? So $27 low ticket, we're multitasking. It's a beautiful thing. Now, you decide what you want to do, whether it is a monthly membership and it's more of a numbers game, right? So total number of people that are going to be inside of the community, and you've got things that are going to drop each month, and then you have community calls, whatever that looks like for you. Small group coaching is a little bit more intimate. I really, really like that. The Help Me Rhonda live is 10 people. It's $197 a month. And my recommendation, based on having worked with people before in this capacity, is that at minimum 4 months. I know that there are foundational things that need to be put in place within that first 4 weeks. And then we're going to evaluate, we're going to look at our plan, and then we're going to implement again. I know life is going to happen in the interim and all of those things. We're going to continue. The accountability is the weekly. The in between is the Help Me Rhonda on demand. Oh yeah, you get to message me all the time. And then we're going to evaluate. And I know as you are shifting away from the overwhelm that you have, as we are moving to more of a streamlined operations, there's going to be mindset shifts that happen because you're focusing on things that before you gave it a second and you just kept going. And I know when we put energy and attention more on one particular area, then you feel like everything is going to crumble. And there's a lot of mindset stuff that we got to work on to then get to the next hurdle. And so I find 4 months is a really good sweet spot. Obviously, I mean, I've had people be with me, work with me for 2 years. So it's up to you. But at minimum, 4 months is what I recommend. And I recommend that to you and telling that to your person, right? So we've got memberships, we've got done with you groups that, again, I like the small group. You got to think about what your time is. In terms of coaching and how you're going to structure that. We have a very structured, we've got a forum, and we have threads, and questions are asked specifically, and I can already prepare. I don't come in half cocked and just ready to let me on a whim. I could do that. But I like to sit and think about these questions. I like to make sure that I pull all the resources that my members need, and then they're ready to go. They're equipped. I'm invested. They're investing in me. I'm investing in them. And so now each week we have a live call. Those folks who are asking questions first, they're going to get addressed. Then we've got some follow-up dialogue kind of in between. And then we do an implementation plan. Like, you walk away and you know that I am also following up in that forum if they've done the thing they said they were going to do. That's what people pay me for, is that accountability, right? So now I think the big takeaways here, there are 3 things. Number 1, you don't need more hours in the day. You need more leverage, and we need to start leveraging what you're really good at. Gosh, I know it's almost 900. Okay. I'm going to give you the example, and I hope that it lights a fire underneath you. Okay. So I have a low ticket funnel. The first template, I have 3. I have 3 big templates that organize different areas of business. Now, 1 is the business command center, 2 is simple social, and 3 is client command center. All right. So those 3, 1 is 27, 1 is 19, and 1 is $47. Right. And so we have sold 2,000 or 10,000 and I think 200 or 300 of the business command center. That's the one that's been around the longest. And that's the one that I learned everything when it comes to low ticket templates. Okay. The second and third template, simple social and the client command center, those 2, the simple social was the first one that I released. And I literally took 48 hours, documented the system that we use internally, and I added it to the funnel. And we have sold almost 1,000 of those. I'll have to get an exact number. Almost 1,000 of those. So what I'm telling you to do is exactly what I have done. You can do 1,000 times $19. That's 19,000. That is tuition for 2 of my kids. I will do that all day long. Tuition for 2 of my kids. Now, when it comes to the client command center, I don't want to misquote. It's somewhere between 200 and 300 at 47, right? So I'm selling less of those. It's not been around as much. It's $47. So if we round to 50, say 15. Again, it's a semester's worth of tuition. I mean, hello. Yes. If you want to know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, that's why I'm doing it, right? But those 2 templates are literally around conversations that I've had with my customers. And it solves a very specific problem. And so whatever it is that you do in a one-on-one strategy, those templates, those resources that you use to complete fulfillment, you're not giving away all your secret sauce, friends. And there are more people doing what you do. So why not multitask and launch that second thing, i.e. take that template and launch it. And then now you can nurture people into whether it is a membership or whether it is a small group coaching. Okay. So templates and training turn your expertise into assets, which is what we want. Group offers and memberships create consistent, scalable income because now we can add ads into that. Y'all, I'm starting with YouTube ads and I'm really, really excited about it. I'll let you know how that goes, but I'm starting YouTube ads. And scaling starts with packaging what you're already doing on repeat. Let me repeat that. Scaling starts with packaging what you have already done on repeat. One of the things, and as I've been doing the work kind of behind the scenes and visually mapping out my business and what that looks like and how to impact more customers, one of the taglines that has come up for me is overwhelm ends where systems begin. I mean, when I read that, I was like, when I have a physical reaction to something, I'm like, that's it. That's it right there. I want it to be so simple. Overwhelm ends where systems begins. That's a good one. I'm going to put right below this video links to some of the templates that I've talked about, and even a link if you're interested in Help Me, Rhonda. No fake scarcity here. Only 10 in a group. There are 5 in it now. We've had our first session. I just opened it. Had our first session last week. If it's a good fit for you, I would love to have you. No sales calls. It's a VSL, video sales letter. I explain exactly what it is on the sales page. You can take a look at the bonuses that you'll have access to, and join, and we'll get you onboarded and in this week's call they happen every Wednesday. All right. Have a great day. And I'm really excited about this particular series about I have hundreds and hundreds of friction points that I'm literally going to share, and how I would very quickly break down that overwhelming problem and solve it. And we're always going to end with this tagline: overwhelm ends where systems begin. All right. Take care. Have a great day. We'll talk soon.